Today I'm going to be doing an updated review on one of my most loved and used Hermes pieces, the Kelly wallet, which is long overdue considering how often I'm actually asked about these pieces, and I'm going to be upfront. I understand that these pieces are by no means inexpensive, but if you're looking to make an investment into your collection and buy something that you can use on a daily basis, use in a ton of different ways, and something that will feature the iconography and the attention to details that we know and love Hermes for, look no further, because this is the best piece money can buy. In fact, if God forbid I had to restart my collection, these are the pieces that I would buy first. And if you want to find out why that is, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you will need no introduction to the world of Kelly wallets, because you know that I'll take any chance that I get to rave about these pieces, because I genuinely think that these are some of the most underrated pieces that Hermes does, especially if you are looking to start your Hermes collection, or if you're looking to take your Hermes collection to the next level, if you'd like to buy something that will remain in your collection for a lifetime. This is not something that should be overlooked. I understand that it is quite expensive for a wallet, but there is genuinely so much you can do with it. But I do have to say that these are not as readily available as they used to be. I mean, if you've been buying Hermes for a while, you'll know that these pieces were around in abundance. I never once struggled to get my hands on a Kelly wallet in any color or in any leather, whereas these days, I mean, let's be honest, anything and everything Hermes is difficult to get, but especially pieces that feature the iconic Kelly twist closure. But were you not, these things are still very much in production, but you might have to be patient because I don't see them as often as I used to. But they're not only worth the money, but also the wait, because there's so much you can do with them. But the original pieces that started the Kelly wallet collection was the Kelly Classic wallet, which is the one that we'll be focusing on today. But I did want to briefly touch on some of the other iterations that were inspired by the classic Kelly wallets. The first one is the Kelly Pocket, which was actually the first Hermes piece I ever unboxed on YouTube. This was supposed to launch, I think this was introduced for spring summer 2019, and I ended up buying this either at the beginning of 2020 or at the end of 2019. So it's been around for a few years, or I should say it was around for a few years, because they're no longer producing the original Kelly Pocket, which is this one, but it is being reintroduced for full winter 2023 in a slightly more compact size that features a wristlet. And then there's also going to be a Kelly Pocket Long, which is closer to the classic Kelly wallet, but it is just slightly more simplistic, and it will also feature that little wristlet detail, which I'm personally not the biggest fan of. But if you find the Kelly wallets just a little bit too traditional, or if you find that there's too much going on, you might want to look into the new Kelly Pockets, and you can still find the original Kelly Pocket on the pre-loved market if you're looking to buy something that will not break the bank. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still very much on the pricey side for a card holder, but it is a fraction of the price compared to any one of the other Kelly wallets that we'll move on to. But if you're looking to buy something that will fit a ton of cards, something that is really user-friendly, but will do a lot more for your collection than just a simple basic card holder would, this might be something that is worth looking into. You of course get the iconic Kelly twist closure without the sangles, which not only makes this piece a little bit easier to use, but I also think it looks a little bit more modern and also a lot more streamlined. But anyway, you do get the Kelly twist closure, which opens into a fan-like pocket which expands, which is another reason this piece is so incredibly user-friendly. You can really easily get access to any one of your cards, and it also fits, I think I counted for my original review, you can fit around 10 cards in here, but you can also fold some cash in here. I have also put my keys in here, so it does fit quite a bit. And then you also have an additional pocket on the back with a zipper and this adorable little Kelly lock detail. So you can of course use this as a coin purse. You can put some additional cards, cash, or maybe even your keys in there, or some little trinkets that you want easy access to. So I understand this piece isn't inexpensive either, but it is quite an elaborate SLG. I think it's somewhere between an SLG and a bag, because even though it will do the job of an SLG, it will add a lot more to your collection, which is why I personally could justify the price tag. So if you see this pop up on the pre-loved market, I think there might still be some floating around out there in stores. I would not underestimate this piece. There is a lot that you can do with this, but one thing that I want you to be aware of is that this isn't the most small bag friendly piece. So if you love mini bags, if you carry a lot of small bags around, because of the twist closure, it can be quite tricky to use this and put this and pull this out of smaller bags. So that is just something for you to keep in mind. But if that's not an issue, if you like larger bags, or if it's something that you are going to carry on its own, you can turn this into a belt bag. You can also put a little strap on this. You can also carry this on a leather strap as a necklace. If you're going to use it on its own, that's obviously another concern, but I wanted you to be aware, and I didn't want you to spend money on this if you are a fan of things like the Mini Kelly, or even the Mini Jody, some of these more popular mini bags, because this will take up a lot of space. And especially not really the space, because it is quite thin. I mean, depending on how much you pack it, but because of the Kelly twist closure, it is not the easiest thing to maneuver in and out of smaller bags. But it was previously available in Epsom, in Madame, which is similar to Epsom. It is a tiny bit softer. It was also around in Matte Alligator, and also Chèvre, which I think is the same range of leathers that the new Kelly Pocket is going to be around in whenever that launch. And moving on to the iconic, the classic, the original Kelly wallet that has started this craze and that has inspired all these new iterations and new generations of Kelly wallets, is the so-called Kelly Classic wallet, or some people also call it the Kelly Wallet Long, but I think the official name is the Kelly Classic wallet, which has been around for years, and as I mentioned, it is getting more and more difficult to get. But at the same time, there are also newer versions that you can find out there, but this is still very much my favorite. Now, what do you have to know about these pieces? Obviously, they are inspired by the iconic Kelly bag, so you do get the Kelly twist closure, the sangles, and then on the inside, the original Kelly wallet features several different pockets. So this is something that comes in a ton of different leathers, pretty much any Hermes leather that you can think of. So I have one in Epsom here, I have one in ostrich, I have also bought one in box, but it's also available in alligator, in chèvre. At one point it was also around in lizard, not only in the ombre finish, but also in black. I mean, that's been quite a while. I think those were around during the heyday of lizard. So in the early 2010s, early 2000s, that's when I last saw those in store. So it's been a while, but you can still find these in a ton of different leathers. Personally, my favorite is Epsom, because I do think that Epsom is an incredibly hard wearing leather. And if you're going to buy something that you want to use on a regular basis, it just makes it so easy and so effortless to reach for this on a daily basis, and it wears beautifully. I mean, I don't think that you could tell that this is something that I have been using consistently for the past 6 or 7 years, other than the fact that the sangles are a little bit softer than they used to be, but these wear beautifully and there's so much that you can do with them. So you can find these in a ton of different leathers, in a ton of different colors, and also with different hardware finishes. I have seen this with palladium, gold, or diamond encrusted hardware, so you have a lot to choose from. And then when you go into the wallet, I have talked about this before, this is a more special Kelly wallet, which is the reason I ended up going for this instead of black, because you know how much I love black pieces. So of course I wanted my first Kelly wallet to be black, but then I saw this and I ended up opting for this one, because this is a so-called verso piece, which is still a design that Hermes offers in almost every single one of their pieces, which verso just means that the lining is a different color from the exterior of the piece. It's always in a different but complementary color. I think they usually do them when they run out of the right color for lining, but anyway, that's just my conspiracy theory. But they do offer verso pieces every now and again, and this was one of those pieces. So on the inside of the Kelly wallet, it is an incredibly generous piece. It not only fits a ton of different cards. So I think you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 credit card slots in the back and then 6 in the front. So it would fit 12 credit cards in total. You have 2 huge compartments for cash, for keys, for additional little accessories and little bits and bobs that you want to carry around, which by the way would also fit your phone. So if you have a regular iPhone, not the iPhone Max, that could also slide in there. You do have a zip pocket in the middle for coins, which does take up quite a bit of space. So I have some coins in here, but if I compare this side by side to a Kelly wallet where I am not taking advantage of the coin purse, you can see how much thinner this is compared to this. And speaking of cash and coins, you do actually get 2 additional pockets, one in the back and one in the front. That is a lot more discreet for cash, which of course you can take advantage of if you carry cash around, but I genuinely don't think there is a single person out there who would struggle to fit all their essentials into a Kelly wallet, because this goes a lot longer than any other wallet out there would, in my opinion, which is why these are slightly more expensive. Now comparing this to the Constance wallet, the Constance wallet is even bigger, which is why I never bought that one. I think that is a great piece if you want to use it strictly as a clutch bag, but using that as a wallet inside other bags, I think it might be just a little bit too overwhelming. It is just a little bit too big to use as a regular wallet inside other bags, whereas this one kind of gets you the best of both worlds, because yes, you can use this as a wallet inside other bags, but it definitely stands on its own. You can use this either as a clutch bag, which is what I usually do, or you can really easily use one of your already existing shoulder straps to turn this into a shoulder bag. All you have to do is take a shoulder strap, fasten it on the inside, and then close the flap with the twist closure, and this will not come undone. Now you do want to be careful that you do not want to peg this to the brim, because if you put too much weight on the shoulder strap, the flap can eventually stretch. But this is something that I have used as a crossbody bag, and as you can tell, it is still in perfect shape. And speaking of shoulder straps, obviously at this point you do have the option of the Kelly to go, which is sort of Hermes' take on a wallet on chain. It's something that was introduced a few years ago at this point, and from the outside it looks pretty much identical to the original Kelly wallet. This is the shape that inspired that piece. The only differences are that it features fewer credit card slots. I think in the Kelly to go you only have 4 credit card slots, whereas you do get 12 credit card slots in the original Kelly wallet. And then the Kelly to go also comes with a removable shoulder strap for an increased price. So the reason I could never really get on board with the Kelly to go is because I didn't feel that that really simple, basic, thin, not adjustable shoulder strap justified the inflated price. I think the strap looks like an afterthought, and it's not adjustable, which makes it a really awkward length. I can count on 2 hands how many people I have seen carrying a Kelly to go, and I never felt that it looked as expensive as it could have. So I stuck with the original Kelly wallets, and I do think that these are a much better investment, because yes, you can turn these into a crossbody bag whenever you feel like it. You can use a Kelly belt if you have one as a strap. You can use one of the straps that you have in your collection that you got with another bag, or you can even buy straps online that will turn your original Kelly wallet into a Kelly to go in case you like the look. If I can find some online, I will make sure to have them linked in the info box for you. But I personally tend to use these mainly as a clutch bag or as a wallet inside other bags. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Aren't these a little bit too unwieldy to use as a wallet? I feel like there is so much going on with the twist closure and the sangles, and you're absolutely right, but you don't actually have to fasten your wallets each and every single time. I would suggest that you do so if you're going to turn these into a shoulder bag, just to make sure that the strap is properly intact and it's not going to fall out. Although you do want to be careful if you're going to use this as a shoulder bag and you want to open it, you do want to hold onto the wallet so it doesn't slip off the shoulder strap. That is the only downside of being overly creative with these pieces. But if you're going to use it as a clutch bag or as a wallet inside other pieces, you don't actually have to close it all the way. What I tend to do is I will just close the flap and twist the closure. I will rarely, if ever use the sangles to close it all the way, you obviously can, but I just don't feel the need to do that. And really, I can only say great things about this, other than the fact that it does feature a twist closure. So if you tend to like smaller bags, this is not something that you'll be able to take advantage of that often, because the twist closure makes it quite tough and annoying to maneuver this in and out of smaller bags. But if you're looking for a clutch bag or something that, let's say if you work in an office and you tend to go out at night and you don't like to carry your large work bag out with you, this is a great piece to keep inside your larger bag, because you can grab this, use this as a wallet, and then if you go out at night, it will also fit your phone and maybe even your keys and little bits, depending on how much you stuff this with cash, with cards, and obviously coins. And if you are looking to buy this, but you're not really, if you don't feel like you're ready to pull the trigger and spend, I think these are $5,000 directly from the boutique at this point. I think the Kelly to go is around $5,500, and these will set you back around somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000, depending on which letter you go for. Now, when I first started buying these in Epsom, I think they were just around $3,500, which they have definitely increased since then. But you can actually find these at amazing prices on the pre-loved market. So if I can find some in good condition at decent prices, I will make sure to link those in the info box for you. You can of course find the Kelly to go on the pre-loved market too, but they are still insanely expensive, which I don't understand why that is. I mean, I can understand the concept. I get the idea of wanting to turn a Kelly wallet into a crossbody bag, but I just don't think that really thin shoulder strap is the best way to do it. Obviously, Hermes has been playing around with different straps. They did a Kelly rock version. They are now doing one for, I think it's going to be for full winter, with a really beautiful woven leather strap, but they are not really crossbody bags. They are more like a little shoulder bag, a really thin non-dimensional shoulder bag. But I still think that your best option is to get the original Kelly wallet, because this will get you the most bang for your buck. Because if you decide to, you can turn this into a shoulder bag or a crossbody bag, but you can also use this as a wallet or as a clutch bag without paying that ridiculously inflated price. So personally, I am a big fan of these pieces, and I will never stop raving about them, because these are the things that I use most often in my collection, and I'm very much aware how expensive these are. But for what they will do for you, for what these will add to your collection, I think the price can be justified, especially if you're also going to use this as a clutch bag on its own, not only exclusively as a wallet. Because I can tell you that anytime I carry this as a clutch bag, I get so many compliments and questions. People always wonder if this is a Kelly pochette, if this is a Kelly cut, if this is a new Kelly bag that was introduced. But in reality, it is just a Kelly wallet, but it can genuinely work as a bag by itself, and it is not only a lot more accessible because of the price, but it is easier to come by than a Kelly cut or a Kelly pochette. You don't have to be a long time Hermes customer to put in a request for one of these bags, and they're of course not considered a quota bag. I mean, a Kelly cut and a Kelly pochette, technically they're not considered a quota bag by most stores either, but they are really, really tough to get, and they will be a wish list bag at most stores at this point, just because any and every mini bag is going to be a tough find. So if you are looking to add a mini bag to your collection, but you are not quite ready to pull the trigger and get a Kelly pochette or a Kelly cut, or you are not at a point in your MS journey where you would have the opportunity to put in a request for either one of these bags, this would be a great alternative. It wouldn't really even be a compromise, because this genuinely does so much for you, and it will also give you a great idea for what Hermes has to offer, for what Hermes is able to do for you. So if you're looking for even an entry-level bag, this might be something great to look into, because it is, I mean, let's be honest, it is just as expensive as most Hermes bags, but I think it would make sense to look into getting one of these pieces instead of getting an extremely simplistic bag like an Evelyn or even a Picatinny. Not that they could be mentioned on the same page. I think they would do very different things for you. But if you have the need, or if you have the want for something that features the Kelly disclosure, this would be a great way for you to get a taste for the Hermes Kelly family. My friends, if you have any questions on the Kelly wallet that went unanswered in this video, please make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And while you're down there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really soon.